work with PCT? How's that going?
Well, I mean, the enormous advantage of this material is that it is light, it's modular, you can fabricate it in other locations, that there is a way of how you can connect it, so there is a certain amount of strength to be found also in the material. That it is also quite appealing aesthetically. I mean, the way how you can finish it, sometimes even not clear what the material is like, so I like the double effect of the material. So I thought it was very nice to test with them what you can do with it, what it is to make on the one hand a furniture, maybe you could say, and to on the other hand make an installation whereby you can watch objects within it. And also that it becomes an architectural, spatial, environmental element. So it's between all that what I said, what you can find in this furniture. I like it to, as an architect, and maybe also designer, because my background is product design. I do believe that it is very interesting to think of design and maybe also architecture almost the other way around. Like I see architecture as product design sometimes, and maybe product design as architecture. And why? It's simply because I think that when you make a furniture, then you can think more about the environment, for who is it, what kind of communication might be between the people using the furniture, and in the other way around. Why could architecture not be seen as an entity, as a product, like it becomes often a product for a brand or the city? So I try to hybridize these different options of the way how design can be seen more than only design. So maybe it's more about the environment, not alone, but also the well-being of the way how you can communicate with design. It's definitely so that in Abu Dhabi and that region there is an interest in new forms of production. How can we rethink production in many new ways? Also because the design, and also not only the design but the architecture also, there is definitely get other forms, other expressions, other way of dealing with, let's say, the environment. So, that creates another form of condition where suddenly you have to rethink design in a far more open way. So I think that, that creates new ideas in the way how one needs to think about, for instance, the weather. For instance, we did a building there for the media zone, and what is quite fascinating is that they had to constantly think of that the sun was not only coming from an angle, but always that it's on top of you. So you can maybe find them ways to shadow a building differently than one would do in, for instance, the West. So that generates a totally new way of thinking about how we approach design. Also, I've noticed it's the same in other locations like Asia. That's a lot of people who have innovated something in product design, or let's say in the manufacturing of design, that they don't like to be always in the place where they came from, because there the production is not to be found. That's why some people go to Asia or the Middle East, because they discover that material, what they've invented, that technology can be exploited towards the profession. And I think that's most fascinating today, that technology and innovation is not always coming from the location and is used on the location where it originally came from.